Are you a coach of some sort and sick and tired of posting on social media so you can find clients? That whole process of attraction marketing is exhausting for me. I just don't understand how people keep up with it. Maybe they're just expert networkers, but it's just not my cup of tea. And if it's not your cup of tea, then today's video is all about how you can still generate leads consistently in your business, nurture them to hiring you as a coach in either their business or their life. Just depends on what kind of coach you are. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around because we're about to dive deep into how to use Pinterest as a coach. Hey there and welcome. I'm so happy that you are here today. My name is Heather Ferris and I'm a Pinterest marketing expert. I've been doing it for a while. I'm pretty good at it. I just don't know that I would label myself as expert, but nonetheless, I run a Pinterest marketing agency where I help hundreds of clients and students to implement and optimize their own Pinterest strategies so they can get more leads, sales, and ultimately grow their business. Win-win, right? So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you get new updates on videos all about Pinterest and online marketing related to Pinterest each week. Welcome back, everyone. Unless you're new here, and then welcome for the first time. Today we're talking all about using Pinterest as a coach to generate more leads in your business so you're not spending so much time on social media and yet you're still getting people in your business. So the whole concept of this video is basically just to open up your mind a little bit about how you can use Pinterest, why it is a good platform for you, and just some strategy tips on how to get started. So Pinterest, unbeknownst to a lot of people, is not social media. It's actually a search engine. When you go to the platform, you generally type something in, and that's how you find the ultimate result that you land on. So, search engine, right? Well, there's people of all shapes, sizes, colors, orientations, business, not business. They're on Pinterest searching for how to do things. They're looking for inspiration in their life. They're looking for parenting advice, marriage advice, finance advice, you name it, they're on a platform looking for it. They're even looking for how to start a business online. That's how I started my business online, was by looking on Pinterest. So when I tell you that there are people on there looking for you, I want you to keep an open mind about this, and I'm going to tell you how you can find your audience on Pinterest. So let's start with that. If you are a life coach, let's say that you are a life coach specializing in marriage and relationships, and you want to use Pinterest for your business to grow your audience and get more coaching clients. Well, the first thing that you're going to do is actually start a profile. If you haven't done that yet, then this is your time. So you're going to start a profile and you're going to create boards. You may be asking yourself though, like, what kind of boards do I create? Well, it's going to start with your audience. So I want you to think about the top 3 things that people ask you in your business as a coach. So if you are that marriage coach, let's say, and your clients are asking you how to liven up the bedroom. So maybe they're looking for sex tips. Maybe they're looking for dating tips for married couples. Or perhaps they're just looking for marriage advice in general. I want you to think about those things. What are those buckets of content that you create as they relate to what your clients are asking you? Okay, so if I'm a marriage life coach, people in my business are asking me about marriage, they're asking me about goal setting and self-care. So those are 3 buckets, right? Of those 3 buckets, in the marriage bucket, I'm going to go and create a handful of boards related to marriage. So maybe I create a board about dating tips, like I just mentioned. Maybe I create a board about intimacy in marriage. That's 2 boards. And then maybe the 3rd board is just marriage advice. So that's 3 boards I now have that I can pin my marriage content to. Now, to take it a little further, maybe you're looking at creating boards for the goal setting. So maybe it's setting financial goals. Married people like to set financial goals. Just goal setting in general for couples. And then how to plan your future. That's 3 more boards that you now have that you can pin your goal setting content to. You can see how this continues through all of the content you create on your site. So what I like to do is think about it from that bucket standpoint of like marriage, goal setting, self-care, parenting in marriage, things like that. So think high level and then drill down. It'll be easier to create those boards as you go. And then what you're going to do is actually go to the search bar. Once you have your boards created, you're going to use the Pinterest search bar to find your keywords. Now, my suggestion for finding keywords is to simply use those questions that people are asking you and plug them into the search bar and see what comes up. So along the same lines of the boards that I was telling you could create for like dating tips, well, a keyword for you that you could type in could be dating tips. And then see what Pinterest suggests to you. Those boxes at the top are suggestions. They're telling you what people on Pinterest are searching for. Use them. Now, once you have your profile optimized, now you're going to start thinking about how to put your content on the platform so it's searchable and so people can find it. I would highly suggest creating a blog on your website. Chances are you have a website. If you don't have a blog already, maybe add one. And then all of that long form content that you're creating and putting on social media can very easily be a blog post. So create a piece of content from that long form attraction marketing style post and put it into a blog. And then if you're creating videos like this, make blog posts for those as well. And if you don't want to go through the whole process of creating really long form content, then especially for your videos, just make an outline of what the video is about, maybe detail a few of the points, and then always add a call to action on the end. Now, I want you to keep in mind that most of the traffic coming from Pinterest is cold. And cold audiences do not convert right away, which is why it's vital for you to have some sort of conversion system on your website to convert them from just browsing and skimming your site to email list subscriber at the very least, or to get them to follow you on your social media channels so then you can bring them back to your email list. So ultimately, you want to get them on your list so you can email them, nurture them, and show them more about how you can help them and provide them with the transformation that they are needing. Now, I always suggest emailing my people once a week. I email my list every week on Wednesdays. That for you may be Mondays or maybe Fridays, it doesn't matter, but choose a day and send a newsletter. It can be as simple as updating them on what you published this week, at least in the beginning until you develop more of a storytelling email marketing type strategy. Now from there, after you have published your blog posts and you have an email list like capture system in place, now you need to think about creating pins to actually put on the platform to then send traffic to those blog posts. So from that, you're actually going to need to create Pinterest images. Now I have some videos I'll link above and I'll put them in the description below on how you actually create Pinterest images on using Canva. I love using Canva. It's like the easiest image creation tool I have found. There's also PicMonkey, and there's another tool called Relay That I've been testing out lately. Although I'm not a huge fan of Relay That, but it's out there. So that's what you're going to do next, is create Pinterest images for your content. Now those keywords that you were researching in the beginning when you were creating your boards, you're going to use those in a few different places. The first place is going to be in your pin descriptions and on your text overlay. Then you're also going to use them in your board titles and your board descriptions. So basically everywhere. Because people are searching for these terms, and when you use them, especially consistently, then your content will surface to the top. Now, people on Pinterest are looking for self-help type things. So if you're in that industry, don't be afraid to create pins for that kind of content because people are looking for it. If you are a coach and you are trying to capture leads or maybe layer in another stream of income and you haven't considered adding small products to your product suite or your service offering suite, then I would actually consider doing that. Now, I don't want to add a whole bunch of stuff to your to-do list, but it's a solid strategy that will actually take people from cold readers to warm leads faster. And this is what I like to call a conversion system. Basically, we bring them in through a free blog post, which you're going to put on Pinterest. And then at the end of the blog post is an opt-in. They opt in for your checklist or whatever it is. And then behind that on a thank you page is a small offer or a tripwire product at a low cost. It's typically between $17 to like $47 on average. And it's closely related to your free opt-in, but it takes it further. It's a little bit more. And then the next step is your one-on-one program or maybe your group coaching program or a course. So when you're thinking about this funnel for Pinterest, your Pinterest users, think about the end product, which is your coaching packages or a course or something. And then what is something one or maybe 5 steps down that you could package and sell that will give them amazing value, but it's not necessarily like high ticket. Okay, so that's going to be your low ticket entry point. And then what is something that you could take and pull out? Maybe it's one step of this process, this mid-tier process, and you offer that as your freebie, your lead magnet. Now you have yourself a low ticket offer funnel that eventually leads to your high ticket offer. And when you're doing this on Pinterest and you're creating pins for these, you can actually send these pins straight to your landing pages, or if you have a sales page for your low price product, you could even send them there. And that will be a quicker way to convert a cold Pinterest user to a warm lead for you that you can now nurture to a hot lead. Now, obviously everyone's coaching business is going to be a little different in what you offer. Maybe you just offer high ticket one-on-one coaching packages and that's fine. You're just going to have to think about that cold lead and the steps they need to take from Pinterest to actually hiring you. And oftentimes it's multiple pieces of content and multiple touch points that you create, whether it's video or in written word or podcast episodes, that you then repurpose into content on your website. And that's where you send people, is to your site. And then from your site, you convert them to social media or your email list. So that's it. That's like the gist. I didn't want to go too deep into the strategy and like creating the profile and the things that you need to do. I don't want to go through all of that stuff right now. If you do want something like that, of like step-by-step how to get started, I do have a link in the description below of a masterclass that I created that you can go and watch. And it walks you through everything that you need to do from start to actually what you need to look at in your analytics. So if you're interested in that, you can definitely watch that free masterclass below. I also have a full Pinterest course called Pin Profit Plan. If you'd like to enroll in that, you can also find the link for that below as well. Other than that, this is just really meant to open up your mind and help you to think outside the box of how you could get leads from Pinterest into your coaching business. So that's it for this week. If you enjoyed this video, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to my channel and maybe give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comment box below. I do my best to answer them all each week. And that's it for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.